You'd never think with that introduction she used to kick me out of class. Good morning. You guys doing good? You guys hanging in so far? I try not to. I try to make it brief. First, I want to thank Mr. Biscard and Mrs. Cavett and whoever has had their hand in having me speak to you guys today. It's an honor and a privilege. You know, like Kingswood means a lot to me, and it feels good to know that I mean a lot to Kingswood now, and a lot of everything that's happened in my life since here is because of here. And you guys have a great opportunity, and you're in a special place. You know, just listen to this assembly today. I wish I cherished more while I was here. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but just to hear you guys laugh and joke and hear one of my players speak so eloquently I mean, when you only get to know Tyler on the basketball court, you know, it's different to hear him up here. It was great. Here you're challenged by the faculty and the staff. You're challenged to be the best person you can be, the best student you can be, the best athlete you can be, the best artist you can be, the best performer you can be here on the stage. And the challenges are to make you better. You know, I always hear kids say, oh, well, I got a bad grade because this teacher doesn't like me. It's not true at all. I mean, I've been there, I said it too, so don't get me wrong. But the thing is, every teacher has a superior. So if a student is failing, it doesn't look good on the teacher. So you get the grade for the work you put in. Now, Mr. Lindsay's a funny guy. He's about 6'4". Looks like Sean Connery. And great guy. And math, I was good at math. I always say I wasn't that good at math. I was good at math. There's just certain things, you know, you're just not good at. I was bad at fractions. I don't know why, it just was. But it's important for SATs for all you Form 5ers. And so I had this thing where I always thought I was being picked on. You know, so we'd be in class and he'd ask me a question. And I'm thinking, dude, you know I don't know the answer. And then he'd do it over and over and over again. And then as soon as the bell rung, Durelle, come up front. I'm like, am I the only person in this class? And you know, he'd say to me, all right, well, I looked at your class schedule. You have 8th period free, and you don't start practice till 4:15. I'm like, dude, how do you know this stuff? And so I had an idea. I said, so I can either, you know, goof around my friends, 8th period, or I can go see him and then play around the training room from 3 to 4. So I said, all right, I'll give up the training room. I'll come see you at 3 o'clock. And we studied, and we studied, and we studied. And I got better at math, slowly but surely. So then that relationship became something new. Then it was, Durelle, you should play lacrosse. Raise your hand if you can imagine me playing lacrosse. I didn't think so. Do other things. Try new things. I was just joking with Mr. Baldwin before I came up here when I got here. This, now, public speaking, wasn't my thing when I was a sophomore in high school. So I decided to take introduction to acting. The class was a riot. Where's Mr. Baldwin at? See him? There. There's my man. And you know, so for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks of the class, you know, there's certain themes you do. And I never got into it. So if we had a monologue, I sat there, I read the monologue. And he videotaped the classes. It was almost like film session for basketball. You'd come back in, he goes, look at this, Durelle, look at this. No body language, you don't feel this. You're not reading this with feeling. I'm like, wow, this is great. And after a while, I started to get into it because I realized how silly everybody else was being, how everybody else was embracing this class. And you know, that was the turning point when I said, you know what? I grew up in New Britain. I love ESPN. That's why I ended up studying communications. And it definitely changed me as far as being able to speak in front of people and want to do it and try to get a message across, as I'm doing now. And all these small stories, these little tidbits are things that shape me. And it all started here.